Hi everyone, I'm Donna the Accounting Lady. I am here to simplify your business and hopefully by simplifying your books and your life. For tonight's topic is why would you wait to the end of the game to find out what the score is? And before I really get into that, if you find value in these videos, please like and share and subscribe. Please comment below. Let me know what you think and let me know what you're interested in hearing about. If you're interested in hiring me, and I really hope you are, I am offering a free bookkeeping consultation through the end of March. What this involves is I will look over your books, your processes, and procedures and see if they are actually serving you. Pretty simply. So with that said, how many of you would be interested in going to a soccer game where the score was not displayed? As a sports player, as a soccer player or a football player, would you be interested in playing a game where you didn't know if you were winning the game until the end of the fourth quarter? I don't know about you, but I like to know as I go, because I know that if I know, saying that a lot, if I know what's going on, if I know what the score is, so to speak, I can tell if I need to change my play. If you don't keep track of your books, if you use an overpriced coach, for one thing, if you're using a CPA to do a bookkeeper's job, you're paying too much for your coach. If you're using a CPA for, there's a lot of things they're not very good at. There's a lot that they are good at. If you're using an auditor to be a CPA, they're not going to be very good at that. Auditors they have very specific jobs. There are very specific jobs inside the accounting industry. If you're using an EA to do a CPA's work, that's not going to work either. You want to put the right coach in the right spot. Now, I am working to be CPA ready, and it's quite an undertaking. And one of the things that as I've gone through this, or I'm going through this, I really appreciate the accounting education that I'm getting. I really appreciate it. But again, why would you do anything if you don't know if you're succeeding or not? So in finance and business, we use 3 reports, at least 2, and sometimes a third one, to see if you're succeeding. Number 1 is the income statement, the profit and loss statement. We want to look and see if your revenues are higher than your expenses. The second one we use is the balance sheet. We want to look and see if your assets are higher than your liabilities. And I'm saying this very, very simply. There's more to it than that I go into with my clients, but that's the really nuts and bolts of it. And then I look at the statement of cash flows and I look to see if money is coming from business activities to generate revenue, or if it's coming from generating liabilities for the company, or if it's coming out of the owner's pocket. So there's a lot of things that I look at. There's a lot of moving parts to this. And it's a little bit different for every industry, but it's not that different. The bottom line, though, is I want to look at these reports and see if my client is winning or losing. Now, I do a fair amount of coaching on what these reports mean, and I want my clients to understand them, because I want them to review them and make sure that they have a fairly good grasp of them every single week. Why? Because you don't wait until the end of the fourth quarter to find out who won the game. And hopefully you want to win at this game of life and at this game of money and this game of business. So find an excellent bookkeeper. Look below. Check out the description. I know an excellent bookkeeper who runs an excellent bookkeeping company. And get them on your side and use all of their knowledge. The things you should be asking over and over again is, where am I at? And if they can't answer that, then let me know. The number one obstacle that I have on making sure that these reports are accurate so that I can provide accurate information to my clients is frequently the client, and that is because they don't respond to me when I ask for further information. I've had some think that I was just being nosy. I'm not. I don't care what they do with their money. Or they feel like they need to hold a lot back. Now, I've said before, going to your accountant is a lot like going to the doctor in that you can't hold anything back. You can't. If you go to the doctor and you're having skin eruptions and you don't tell them that you're using meth because you're embarrassed, they could potentially give you a medication that will do you a lot more harm than the meth. If you go to the doctor, if you're a woman and you go to the doctor and you don't tell them that you're pregnant, there's a lot of things that the doctor could do that could harm your baby. So it's important. I mean, even if you're embarrassed, it doesn't matter. I'm kind of like the ER doctor. I've seen it all. I have seen the worst books that exist on the face of the planet. So you don't have to be embarrassed. Most people that call me and say, oh, I'm going to be so embarrassed when you look at my bookkeeping, I look at it and they're pretty good shape. It's the ones that go, oh yeah, mine are just fine, that when I open their books and go, fine is an acronym for what your books are. It is, they are not fine. If there is anything that you want to have tracked in your books, you need to talk to your bookkeeper and let them know. And please ask questions. Ask questions even if you don't know what questions to ask. If you are looking at your reports and you're just drawing a complete blank, let me know that too, because I want to know. That just tells me what your level of education is. It has nothing to do with intelligence. It's just you're focused on other things. And then that tells me how I need to explain them. This is my life. This is what I do for a living. So I don't ever want my clients to think that they're lacking in any way because they don't understand financial reports. It's my job to explain them. I wouldn't expect I wouldn't want anyone to expect me to have my doctor's job because I'm not an MD. But I do expect them to expect me to know how to explain their reports in a way that makes sense to them. Make sure that you're asking questions. Make sure that you're asking questions even if you don't think I know the answer. If you think that something should be tracked that I'm not tracking, let me know. Let's talk about that. Maybe we haven't agreed to that in my scope of work, or maybe I don't have the resources to do it, but I bet you if you let me know that there's something you need to have tracked, I'll find a way to track it. Things cannot be loosey-goosey. Everything has got to be really tight in your accounting. Like I said, you don't want, if you go to a soccer game, you don't want something that is not a goal to be counted as a goal, and you don't want goals to be not counted as a goal. Things are very specific. But it's important that you know the score at all times. I'm going to call this the end of the video. I'm going to go into this more in depth. This is one of these that I'm going to return to quite a bit because I see so many challenges that small business owners have with even just reading the reports and understanding what they're saying. Like I said, business owners are already, just overwhelmed with what they need to do as it is. So please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you again soon.